Our taste in film may seem destructive, but this is a productive dialogue. Damn it, your mother ate my dog.
Episode 91 of Your Mother Ate My Dog, the podcast, brought to you by Josh and Jesse. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What was the last thing you drank?
The last thing I drank was an apple cider.
Oh, wow.
What's the last thing you drank that you just took a sip of? My guess is tea.
Yeah. I'm drinking, it's an apple cinnamon tea.
Oh, gosh.
So we had dinner, and then we wanted something sweet. But we haven't gone grocery shopping for the week yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so we didn't have anything. So we ordered ice cream from McDonald's. So then I was cold. And so I'm like, well, it's cold in the recording room, in the recording studio that I have. So I'm like, I should, even though it was, 20 degrees today, I should have some tea.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of tea. Do you put cream and sugar in your tea or no?
This is just a kind of a straight tea where you just put a tea bag in and pour the water and you're good to go. But normally I do have milk and sugar in it. And like a black tea, like an orange pico.
That's what I do as well.
Time. Yeah.
Sometimes I find myself going, go ahead. You don't drink coffee?
Yeah, but you can finish your story.
I was just saying, when I go to Tim Hortons, I usually get a steep tea triple. Just take any semblance of tea out of it and just make it a sugary, milky drink.
Do you drink coffee?
No, certainly not. I do not like coffee.
Why do you say certainly not?
Well, I find it strange anyone who does. It doesn't taste any good.
Well, it depends. I mean, my coffee tastes good with 10% half and half and a lot of sugar. And that's like perfect amount of perfect coffee taste. But if there's like milk in it or less sugar, then I can agree it doesn't taste as good. I would prefer a tea over a bad coffee, but
100%. You can just have tea with just plain old Jane tea and it tastes fine. I just like having sugar, but I don't need it to make it consumable,
Oh, I need it. I need sugar.
Sugar in water. Men in Black.
Have you been are you all caught up, all swept up in this hockey craze that's happening?
I'm not swept up in the hockey craze, but I did know that Vancouver won yesterday. 4-2, I think it was. I think that's typically what happens with me for sports lately, is that I don't really care through the regular season, but when the playoffs happen, I'm like content enough to watch highlights or at least find out what the score was, but I'll very rarely like sit down and watch the game.
Well, that's all I do. I have to sit down and watch the full game. So if a podcast ends up, or if a hockey game is up on a Monday night, we may have to postpone.
Right. You got to make sure you watch it against your team.
Well, because this doesn't happen very often.
Right.
It's been like 9 years since they were in a proper playoff
with
situation.
Like decent odds.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's fun. Tomorrow night, game 2, or tonight, depending on when you're listening.
Where do they play?
In Vancouver again.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at tickets because my brother and I, a dream is to go to a playoff game. But to get in the door, like the worst seats is $300. Hard to justify, especially coming from Victoria.
Yeah, $300 plus like almost $300 just to get to and from, plus a place to stay and all that crap.
Well, he lives there now, so I would just stay there. But still the ferry and hot dogs or whatever.
Yeah. Well, if you're at a game, you got to get a hot dog. And you got to get... Did you see that viral picture of the lady who got triple O's at a hockey game, I think it was?
Oh, the fries?
And she... Yeah, the fries.
Yeah.
I think that must have been... If it's triple O's, it's got to be a Canadian. So maybe that was at Vancouver.
I think it was.
The Canucks Stadium. Yeah. That's what you got to look forward to. $10 for 7 French fries.
I don't know if I've ever bought food at a Canucks game.
Yeah, it's a bit of a ripoff, isn't it?
Food at a Royals game is also kind of a ripoff, but it's fine.
When I went to that Washington State versus Oregon State football game, I got like a couple beers. Well, like one for me, one for somebody I was with. And it was like $20-something for 2. It's kind of ridiculous.
Were they big ones though?
Were they
big ones though?
No, not really.
Oh.
No. It's kind of normal sized.
Was it like a craft beer, or were you stuck with a Bud Light?
No, they had a couple craft options.
I guess
which I feel like is probably a West Coast thing.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest.
You get that in other places. Yeah.
You watch any good TV lately?
No, I haven't watched anything.
Except for this movie.
Yeah, except for this lovely movie that we got to watch. That made me a little sleepy.
Okay, well, let's just get it over with then.
Let's do it. When did you watch this movie?
I watched this movie Saturday. So I watched the first half. It's only an hour and a half. First 45 minutes. I watched it Thursday morning. In the last 45 minutes, the end, I had to kill some time, so I watched it Saturday night at about midnight.
Oh, okay.
So the tale of 2 different times. But I recently listened to our very first episode back, well, parts of it, just to see kind of how we sounded, and because back then, this is January 2022, and we were so committed to the movie aspect of the podcast, and now we just kind of watch bad movies and oh, whatever. So I wanted to, something that I did was read not the summary, but the tagline of a film.
Yeah.
Before we get into it. So first movie we did was Primer, which wild. The 91st movie, well, I guess the 90th movie, because one episode was a year in review. So the 90th movie we're doing, Top Secret. The tagline for this film is: an American rock and roll singer is invited to a cultural festival in East Germany in order to distract from a plot to destroy NATO submarines, but he accidentally becomes involved in a resistance plot to rescue an imprisoned scientist. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. That's exactly what happened.
It was a boring film. It did not make me laugh. There were obvious... This was a joke film.
Right.
Not to be taken seriously. They had a lot of gags.
Very gag heavy.
A big phone. Other things. But it just, didn't really hit.
No, there's definitely a lot of I bet you in 1984 this would have been hilarious. But barely any of it was funny now.
40 years. Wow, 40 years.
40 years, almost exactly. Yeah, and like I think I said last episode, I've seen clips from like Airplane. This is like the same people who made Airplane, right? Yeah. And so I knew the type of humor that it was. It was always like, yeah, gags and subverting your expectation, I guess. Like thinking something's about to happen and then it doesn't, or you know what I mean. And I think maybe Leslie Nielsen, a lot of people talk about how funny he is. He probably was a big part of why those movies were successful, but him not being in this one maybe is why the comedy kind of fell flat, perhaps.
Yeah, Val Kilmer, not a great performance.
No.
Was his first film.
Right. And it was weird. Like they were almost trying to do it as like a musical. Like we just saw so many full songs, like 5 or 6 full songs.
And Val Kilmer sings those himself.
Does he really?
Apparently.
He's got a pretty good voice, I guess.
Well, he did.
Oh. Okay. Well. Yes,
he lost his voice.
Things are a little different now.
He can no longer talk or sing. So.
Right. He's got one of those neck buzzer things. Whatever that's called.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. There was a couple things I did laugh at. There was like a scene where they're dancing in like a bar, I guess it is. And people are like twirling shirts, and then cuts to like these guys like just twirling like women above their heads. You know the scene I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of made me laugh. But most of it was just not funny, I guess. And then also, like, I started, you get like 20 minutes in and you realize just how many gags there are, and then you start predicting what the gag is going to be. And I guess it's like that's partly what the humor is. Like, it's supposed to be eye-rolling, I guess. But then you get it becomes a little bit too much. Or a lot too much.
Yeah. It's the whole movie.
It is. It's relentless.
I did like the underwater fight.
That was cool. Yeah, and it was like interesting enough that I didn't really understand how they filmed it.
They filmed it underwater.
Yeah, thanks.
In a pool, though, I would imagine. Not in the ocean.
Yeah, but I just don't understand how. Yeah, not in the ocean. I don't understand how they. I don't know.
I read that he had to get.
It's probably not that complicated.
Val Kilmer had to get like his diving license to do it.
Oh,
which doesn't make any sense, but.
No, he's not in any scuba gear.
Let me see if I can find that. Well, doesn't matter.
No,
but yeah, that was fun. The opposite of that is the cow.
Yeah. There's a whole cow scene. A little uncomfortable.
Yeah, because then after the cow scene, the bad guy he walks weird to insinuate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What happened? Yes.
1984.
It's a different time. Different time completely.
But it was cool that they had like an actual cow though, not just them in a cow outfit. It was just an actual cow wearing boots.
I do remember thinking, wow, that's a good cow actor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going exactly where it's like to the point where I was wondering, like, is that a real cow? Like, we kept flip-flopping as to, I don't know. Even like the rubber cow costume, when you could tell it was the rubber cow costume, it was actually a pretty good rubber cow costume. Cow looked like quite a lot like a cow.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, I bet you didn't think we were going to talk about how good the cow costume was in Top Secret, but here we are. Here I am. You didn't think it was, but maybe you did.
Mm.
I'm trying to find some diamonds in the rough, I suppose. I will say, I mean, I mentioned it a little bit before the podcast started, that I fell asleep like the last 30 minutes of this movie. I was pretty tired. I do find that Mondays, I think I get a good amount of relaxation done on the weekends, and then I have to work all day Monday. And almost every Monday, I feel as though I need to take a nap.
I don't think you're going to get
the nap. Just
I don't think you're going to get much sympathy from our listener.
Right.
Oh,
I bet you he does lots of napping.
I have to work on Mondays. Darn, I'm so tired.
Well, it's just like your body gets a little used to not working, and then you work a Monday, and it's like you're like, oh, okay, and then you get tired. I don't know. So anyway, it just so happened that my nap coincided with the last 30 minutes of this movie, so I literally woke up when the ending credits were playing, and so I was like, well, shit. So I had to rewind, and it turns out I had missed half an hour of the film.
Do you normally have a nap?
That was fun.
Big nap guy?
No. Sometimes like I said, on a Monday, if any day, it's probably going to be that day. But sometimes I do feel as though I need one. Lately, I do find in the last few years, it's been more of a thing for me.
Getting older.
Do you nap?
I used to be a big napper, but that has gone the wayside. I don't remember the last time I napped.
I do seem to remember that when we lived together, you would nap for sure.
Yeah, maybe I just wasn't eating properly, so I felt the need to be tired. Or if I'm working at 6 a.m. and I'm just not used to it, I'll get home and nap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do remember you coming home to nap a lot. And also, like, I don't remember us eating ever. What did we eat when we lived together?
Craft dinner.
We did eat a lot of craft dinner. I don't remember ever using the kitchen in that building, in that place.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we didn't really. Yeah, probably didn't cook too many meals. I was kind of at a point in my life where I didn't really know how to cook. So probably.
Right. I was kind of in the same boat, yeah.
Probably just a lot of buying pre-made stuff. Maybe pizzas, frozen pizzas.
Pizza Pops.
Yeah.
Or I used to call them Pop-Tarts, if you remember that.
Yeah, and Pop-Tarts too.
Well, we didn't have Pop-Tarts, but I called Pizza Pop-Tarts.
I know, but I'm sure I did have Pop-Tarts.
Probably.
So.
And I did all the dishes.
We didn't have a dishwasher.
No.
So you mentioned Leslie Nielsen, Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Another movie, which I just found out today that they're remaking. That Leslie Nielsen did is Naked Gun.
Right.
Somebody who was in Naked Gun, O.J. Simpson.
Oh, well, he can't be in the new one.
No, O.J. Simpson has passed away. Fortunately,
he has.
Just maybe take a moment. Remember the actor, O.J. Simpson. No longer with us. Val Kilmer. Yeah, he wasn't great. The acting was, I think, fine overall. He just couldn't carry it. He just needed to be better.
Yes, definitely. He didn't strike me as particularly confident, I guess.
They need like a funny guy. He's not really a funny guy.
No, I don't think of comedy when I think of Val Kilmer all that much.
Very monotone.
Also wish that, yeah, I wish like when I looked at the cast, I saw that Peter Cushing was in this movie, but he was in it for like a minute. I wouldn't have minded him being in it for a little longer.
He had a big eye.
He had a big eye, and he was in a scene where the whole scene was backwards and didn't really work.
No, the backward scene, it happened like right after I stopped the movie and then I came back to it, and the first scene was the backward scene. So I thought I had done something wrong. I'm like, wait a second. So I did like
Yeah.
I went forward and to make sure that the whole thing wasn't backwards, and it wasn't. So
It was weird too because the first 30 seconds of the backward scene, I'm like, okay, I see what they've done. They've done a pretty good job here. But then the last part of it, it was like, okay, now things are just looking like they're backwards. It's not. I don't really get it. What they're trying to do, is this funny? Yeah, so that wasn't so good.
let's try new things.
Try new things. I'm remembering now the scene where they're taking off in the train, but it's not actually the train that's moving, it's the station that's moving. That was pretty funny.
One of the first, well, I didn't laugh at it, but one of the first jokes of the film was when they were in the train, and it's Val Kilmer as Nick Rivers. He's drawing, he's sketching like the outside, but he's doing it like because it's going, the trees are going by so fast because they're in a train, so he's drawing the trees going by so fast. I thought that was clever.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, there's a few little highlights here and
I
there.
didn't fall asleep, but it was a fine film. It's not like a 7.5 out of 10 film in 2024. It might have been in 1984. It's fine.
Yeah, this is one I really struggled to agree with both the IMDb and the Rotten Tomatoes score. What type of person thinks this is a 7.5 out of 10 movie? I don't get it.
I don't know.
Whatever. Maybe we just don't have a wide berth for humor. Maybe that's our problem.
It's a different kind of humor.
It is. It is.
Are you going to try again with a comedy film next week?
No. And also, well, I haven't really picked a movie, but I'm not going to pick a comedy. And also, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it next week. So we might have to reconvene 3 weeks from now because I'll be going on my trip.
I remember, though, I'm coming with you. I'm ready to record.
That's right. So, yeah, I'll have to see. I would say we're probably not going to be able to do one next week.
What's so important?
Well, I leave on the Wednesday, and it's kind of a lot of planning and going when you go on a long ass road trip. So I don't know if I'm going to be, and my brother's coming to watch the cats, and so the house has got to be clean.
For your brother?
Yeah, he's going to be staying here.
Why can't he clean?
Why can't he come over and clean our house for us?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I'll
ask him.
He's already paying you to stay there to take care of your cats, hang out with your cats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's a little behind the scenes there. And we're talking about top secret.
A little look into the life of the Your Mother Ate My Dog podcast crew.
Would you consider this a cult film?
I don't know. I guess.
I don't think so.
But I guess our cult films usually have some sort of semblance of being good? Or at least a so bad it's good?
Yeah, maybe. I hadn't heard this movie before, just finding it on a list of good movies, so I guess not culty enough.
Yeah, I had heard of this movie, but not I didn't think it was supposed to be like a cult classic or anything like that. I just knew of its existence.
Yeah, we got pretty in depth in Primer episode 1. So I'm just trying to get back into that. Okay. Well, do you want to do?
Well, our first our first episode was what, like 20-something minutes, probably.
Yeah.
But it was just pure talking about the movie.
We didn't have a name for the podcast in that episode.
Really?
Yeah. We're like, welcome to this unnamed podcast. Trying to figure out a name for the podcast, and then I guess we did before episode 2, but
I remember it was going to be Cat Dead Details Later, I think was going to be the name, but that was already taken.
I should look that up.
I'm pretty sure they've only had a few episodes and then stopped.
Cat Dead Details Later. It's a playlist. Oh, it's an artist.
Oh, it's an artist. Okay.
They sing. 2015. Anyways, would you like to get to the scores?
Yes, let's do that.
Remember Mystery Men?
I do remember Mystery Men, yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Acting. I'll go first.
Okay.
Val Kilmer he wasn't terrible, but he was just kind of the wrong person for the film. He has / had a great career, but he more so playing like the bad guy, the Western gunslinger in Tombstone, as well. That was a podcast movie. He was, fine, but wrong pick. The other, I don't know, Hilary Flamond was fine. She didn't blow me away. The Torch was fun in a dumb way. I don't know. It was fine. I'm going to give acting a 6.
Oh, that is generous. I think this type of movie, it's hard to judge acting just because, like, I think everything they're saying it's like supposed to be stupid. So I don't know. Like, it kind of changes what acting is supposed to be, I guess, in the context. And yeah, but I don't think that Val Kilmer was right for the role. Yeah, and I just kind of felt like all the performances were, since they weren't funny, I didn't find them particularly good. So I think I'd probably go like a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
For acting, it's acting on their comedic chops, I suppose. So 4 is more than good of you. You've watched the ending twice, technically. How do you feel about it?
The ending was like oddly formulaic, I guess. Yeah, well, your cat agrees, I think. And I don't know. And then the ending also felt like a little rushed, I suppose. And it's just kind of like a non-ending almost. I don't know. It's kind of just whatever. I give that a 4 too, I think.
Yeah, the ending did feel rushed. Because like all of a sudden we were in it. I did like the underwater fight scene. So that'll bump up the score by 0.5 for me. I'll give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not much to say there. Not much good stuff happening in that ending. it just again felt rushed. How did you like the movie as a whole? Out of 10, maybe.
Oh, out of 10? Well, let me think. I found it kind of boring and not all that funny. And I think it's probably not a movie that's supposed to bore you, and it's probably supposed to make you laugh. So that's the problem. I think, yeah, it's a bit lackluster. Not a huge fan. I give it a 3.5 out of 10.
Was it? Do you think this is the first podcast movie that you've fallen asleep while watching?
I've dozed off on another, but I don't remember what it was. But like that was kind of like I caught myself falling asleep. This one didn't really intend to fall asleep, but I did.
This is your second 3.5 of the year. Do you remember the other movie that you gave a 3.5 out of 10 for?
Mystery Men?
It was last week.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, my score. 3.5. I'll do a little bit better than 3.5. It was silly. There were some parts which made me chuckle a little bit. But also that was the same for last week. Mystery Men.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was boring. Probably recommend it. It was only an hour and a half, which was nice, but I apologize for making you watch it. I'll give it a 4.5. 4.5 out of 10.
You don't have to apologize. Every movie is a new experience. I haven't seen a movie like that before. So I guess I have to give it props in that sense.
Third worst movie of the year for me.
You know what?
Behind Idiocracy and Tough Guys Don't Dance.
I forgot about that movie. Tough Guys Don't Dance. That's quite a movie. I learned again, it was something that was reiterated to me when I was talking about Mystery Men at work. It's nostalgia is a crazy thing. Because like the three people that I spoke with about this movie, they had seen it when it first came out. I'm like, oh, I watched Mystery Men. They're like, oh, Mystery Men, I love that movie. And I'm like, you're just wrong. I don't think you do. I think you do, but you don't. It's not good.
Yeah, I agree with the nostalgia part of it. Because I could picture like watching it on TV, and then like you get the commercials, and then it cuts out some bad parts, and then you get the good stuff. And I gave it 0.5 more than Top Secret, and I'm thinking like, did I like it better? I think I did. So it's all right.
Okay. You don't have to redact
change
a score or anything like
a week
that.
later.
Okay. Well then, here we are. The secret's out.
I think leading up to episode 100, all the other movies I have, this is the weak link. They all should be much better than this. I mean, no guarantees. I haven't seen the movies, but I think so.
I cannot make such a claim. I might pick a bad movie. I haven't decided yet. I don't even know what my next.
You will pick a bad movie, yeah. It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to pick a movie. It'll be a surprise in 2 months when we come back.
Okay. Yes.
Try to pick one from a year we haven't done yet.
Okay. That's a good challenge.
I don't know what that would look like, what year that would even be, but
I'm sure there's lots of years to choose from.
Yeah, early years, the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty from there.
Okay, well, what else do you want to talk about?
What else do I want to talk about? Postcards?
I haven't seen. Well, there's like a postcard from like here that somebody sent to also here, so I didn't really count that one.
Someone sent a postcard
like
from here to here?
Victoria. Didn't really have good art, so I didn't mention it. But none today. But yeah, last week was pretty heavy on the postcards, or the week before, whatever it was. But it's like a good one every day.
I predict that the next one is going to be from
That's a good one.
Australia.
So we have had one from New Zealand, so Australia makes sense. Guess how many steps I walked today?
That's my guess. Well, you got to tell me what route you did, and then I'll be able to give you an exact answer.
So do you know Carey Road?
Yes.
So the very beginning of Carey Road on Wilkinson. You're driving down Wilkinson, and then it's
okay.
You turn left on Carey Road. So it was part of that. And then, do you know Mann Avenue? Yeah.
MANN.
So Wilkinson Road, Mann Avenue.
Yes.
So all of Mann, and then like all the side roads on Mann, and then some side roads off of the side roads off of Mann. I was done at about 5:30. So I probably left the depot 11:45. So it was about nearly 6 hours of delivering today, which is a lot. 66 parcels, 5 trays of mail, which is crazy for this time of year.
Okay.
I'll tell you that I normally walk around between
go ahead.
20 and 25,000 steps a day.
Okay. Yes. That's so close to the Glanford Canada Post thing. Is that where you started? Okay, that makes sense then. So if you're the way you're talking seems like you did more steps than usual, and if you didn't usually do 20 to 25,000, one would assume it's more than that today. And I'm gonna say 31,500.
How did you know that? It was exactly 31,500. Like it wasn't 31,512. It was 31,500.
Well, I don't know how I knew that. Sometimes the stars just align. Felt right coming out of my mouth, and it was right there on your pedometer, your Apple Watch, I assume.
Well, I have also an app on the phone that tracks it. But right now I'm at 31,721, but I have walked 221 steps since I've been home, which is not much. But wow, that's insane.
It's weird.
Yeah, it was a busy Monday, but it was a nice day.
I'm surprised you didn't take a nap.
Well,
it was a gorgeous day
issue
out there,
is that I get home after 6 and then make dinner and do a podcast, so not a whole lot of napping time. But
what did you have for dinner?
Pork belly, marinated pork belly. rice and zucchini.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was good. Ate too much. And then stuffed some ice cream down. And then drank some tea.
Well, you gotta. It's a McDonald's ice cream after your pork belly dinner.
So what I do is I get a Smartie McFlurry, and then I get extra Oreo chunks. So it's like a Smartie and Oreo McFlurry.
Whoa.
It's pretty good.
You want to know something? I don't think I've ever had a McFlurry.
It's not for everybody.
Certain I've never had
it's just
a McFlurry.
ice cream with, chocolate bar chunks in it.
Right. I've had a cone from McDonald's, and I've had their milkshakes, but never the McFlurry.
Maybe next time you'll have to give it a try, because you're in your 30s now, and you should be trying new things.
I don't got much life left to live. Yeah, it's a good point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, this is the issue with a bad movie.
Yeah.
But so we go through
sort of fizzle.
We go through stages.
Low spirits.
Podcast. So we have a first stage where our podcasts are between 25 and 35 minutes. And then we hit a stage where it's always 55 minutes for some reason. No matter what we do, it's always 55 minutes. And now we're kind of we're in the 40s now. Nice and succinct, 40 to 48 minutes.
Well, we're honing in on the sweet spot. And I also think that sometimes, depending on what time it is when we're finished all of our talking, we can sort of pull an audible if we need to and, do the box office game or what have you.
We don't need to do anything. Oh,
what are you writing down right now?
I spilled something on my pants. So I'm just trying to
You think you spilled something on your pants?
There's something on my pants, so I'm just trying to scratch it off. Some pork belly juice or whatever.
Pork belly juice pants.
Pork belly juice, PB&J. That's what I have on my sandwiches.
You have peanut butter and jelly on your sandwiches?
Yep. Peanut butter
last sandwich you had?
And jam. Today.
Oh. Okay. Oh, you had one today. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper. I don't know if you've ever gone to a grocery store and bought deli meat. It's not cheap.
It's a racket.
Peanut butter
Can't do it.
Jam. Cheap because it lasts forever.
Yeah, you get like a $5 jar of each, and that's 20 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches right there. You can take it to the bank. Sounds like you're over at the bank.
When's the last time you went to a bank?
From the microphone. You want to guess? Last time I went to the bank. Boy, that's the question. Probably the last time I went to the States, which was when I went to California. I think that was in January. I got some US dollars. It's probably the last time I went to the bank.
Go to the ATM and grab some cash out.
Very seldomly. What do you think is the last sandwich I ate? Not a bologna sandwich, no. Although I do like a good fried bologna sandwich. Stuff is delicious. The last sandwich I had was a
prosciutto.
Okay, you want to guess some? No.
Is it something weird?
No, I wouldn't call it a weird sandwich. No, it was not a cheese sandwich. Did I put cheese on it? I put cheese on it, which is probably weird to put a cheese on this type of sandwich.
Is it a pickle sandwich? Okay, then what?
No, it did not have a pickle sandwich. Is that a thing that you? I mean, like, it's a normal sandwich, but I think putting cheese on said sandwich,
Roast
for
beef.
some people, they might think that's weird. You think putting cheese on a roast beef sandwich is weird?
Orange cheese, yeah.
Seems perfectly normal to me. No, it was a tuna fish sandwich.
Would never have guessed that.
Would you put cheese on a tuna fish sandwich?
No, but we do have one of our dinners in rotation is a tuna melt, and there's cheese. There's cheese on that. So no, I don't.
That's good
think
stuff.
That's weird. It's melted cheese, but.
Do you do tuna melts on English muffins?
I don't.
It's my
just
classic.
We have bread, and I just use the bread I have.
It's good on English muffins. You should try that.
Okay.
All right. Well, just in the sandwich segment of our podcast, what's your favorite type of sandwich?
Oh,
Listener? Not you. I don't care about you.
great
I
question.
meant the listener.
And what do you put cheese on it?
Right. Like, I like a good bologna sandwich. Fried bologna sandwich. Definitely would put cheese on that. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Probably wouldn't put cheese on that. No. But it can be kind of like you know how some people have cheese with their apple pie. It could be like that kind of sort of situation.
Did you ever have Nutella as a child?
No, I didn't have that until I was probably within the last 5 years when first time I had it.
Regularly? Once in a while? Yeah.
No.
I had a Dutch friend growing up, and they put it wasn't Nutella, it was like a Dutch, like, I'm sure you're familiar with like the Dutch chocolate spread and the one with sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
They just put that on sandwiches and ate chocolate sprinkle sandwiches.
It does sound kind of good. You have to be kind of in the right mood. I don't know if that's really... It's more like a dessert.
It's more like a child thing. You can only get away with it as an adult.
Right, not with any level of respect, anyway.
Well, that was fun. The movie was fun.
It was. Top secret. Yes.
Episode 91.
Secret.
I was born in 91, so this was, I guess, good that it was my movie. Next, whenever we do this again, 92, which is your movie, so it makes perfect sense.
Right, my birth year.
And we're only 9 away from the big 100.
It's wild. It's crazy, wild stuff. I have a question for you. Just to, cap off this very exciting episode that we've done. I am the year of the monkey. You are the year of the...
I don't know. Let me Google it for you. 1991, year of the goat. Well, I'm a goat.
You're a goat. Okay.
Yeah, just a
not the
singular
goat, but a goat.
Goat.
Who do you think is the GOAT basketball player?
I'm gonna say John Tay Porter. Do you know who John Tay Porter is?
That's my pick as well.
This week, I guess last week, he got busted for gambling on basketball games. He is a basketball player for the Raptors, and he was banned for life.
Oh, good Lord. So he's like a current basketball player, and he was like,
as of last week, he was a current basketball player. Well, what he did was he faked illness to get out of a game, to like excuse himself from a game, so that his pals could bet on his performance as like him not doing like he won't get like he's not very good, like not a very good basketball player, but
I see.
if he's not going to get will he get less than 10 points? You say yes, and then he's like, oh, I'm sick, so he plays 10 minutes and
helped get his friends the parlays, the over under on 4.5 points.
I'm going to say Michael Jordan's my goat.
I don't know how much. Yeah, it's got to be Michael Jordan.
I mean, I don't watch basketball. Growing up, Vince Carter.
Right.
Chris Bosh. Kyle Lowry. All my
So those are some of your favorites. My favorite is definitely Dennis Rodman. But I would say like in the GOAT, at least in the GOAT conversation, who isn't usually brought up enough is probably Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
Most people have him like in the top 5 usually, but anyway, I digress.
Who's your top GOAT? Listener,
not me.
Okay.
Billy Goat.
That's enough. We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening. It's been a can of corn. Take care.
Hey, yeah, it has.